Good morning everyone. Today in this video we are going to study a poem, A Tiger in the Zoo. In this poem, the tiger symbolizes all wildlife and zoo symbolizes the man-made environment. That is, we are carrying out deforestation at a very large scale, and due to which the animals are being shifted to a natural environment, that is to the zoo and other biological reserve and other man-made forest. So in this poem, the poet Leslie Norris, he has compared two tigers. Once again, I want to say you that tiger symbolizes all wildlife, and here in this poem the poet has compared two tigers. The tiger one, not two tiger, the tiger in a two habitat, that is the tiger in its natural habitat, that is forest, jungle, and another tiger which is in zoo. He has compared the condition, he has compared the activities of tiger in both the environment. As you all know, jungle is used to be the natural habitat of any wild animal, and now they are being shifted in the artificial environment, that is zoo, biological park, biological reserve. So the activities also have changed, and most importantly they have lost their freedom. Now let's see how the poet has narrated all this through this poem. The first paragraph says, he stalks in his vivid stripes. He stalks in his vivid stripe the few steps of his cage on pads of velvet, quiet in his quiet rage. He here stands for tiger. He stands for tiger. He stalks. What stalks? Stalks, it means walking with a long steps. He stalks in his vivid stripes. Vivid is the bright color of the tiger, and stripes is the stripes marks which used to be on the body of the tiger. You can see here in the picture. The few steps of the cage, here it has referred the few steps. The few, it means that the few denotes the limited space which is there in the cage. The few denote the limited space. Earlier in the forest they used to have unlimited space. There space was no constraint for them, but now it has become limited. On pads of velvet, it means it refers to the paws of the tiger. In a quiet rage, quiet and rage, these two terms here you can see, quiet and rage, these two are very opposing in nature. These two terms are opposing in nature. Quiet and rage. Quiet means calm, silent, and rage, it means ferocious, anger. It denotes anger of the tiger. Now the thing is, both the terms are used simultaneously to denote the condition of the tiger. Why? Because the thing is, it is full of anger, but as it has been locked down in the zoo, they can't show, the tiger can't show his anger, and therefore he is quiet, he is silent, he is unable to do anything, he can't show his emotion. So the first paragraph denotes a tiger in the zoo. Tiger is caged in the cage, and he is left with only one thing to do, that is walking in the cage in a silent manner. The second paragraph says, he should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass near the water hole where plump deer pass. The second paragraph refers to the tiger in the zoo. What does it say? The tiger, instead of being in the zoo, it was supposed to be in the jungle among the long grasses, where it should be hiding himself and waiting for any prey to come to attack upon, which is natural which is a natural thing, natural act for a tiger. Hunting, killing animals for their food, that is natural to them. But now he is in zoo. In the last paragraph we saw that it is the tiger is in the zoo and therefore they are unable to perform any activity. They are quite neutral. They don't even have freedom to show their emotions. He should be lurking. It means he should be hiding somewhere. He should, if it would have been in jungle, it would have been hiding somewhere in the shadow, that is in the dark place where no one could see him, and sliding through long grass near the water hole where plump deer pass. It means it should have been waiting somewhere where other animals come to drink water, and it should have been hiding there to attack upon them. So the second paragraph refers to the tiger in the forest. Now next paragraph. He should be snarling around houses at the jungle edge, baring his white fangs, his claws terrorizing the village. Again, the third paragraph describes the activity of a tiger in the forest in its natural habitat. He says he should be snarling. Snarling, it means roaring, terrorizing the village. It should have been in its natural habitat. It would have been roaring around the houses at the jungle edge, baring his fangs, his claws terrorizing the village. It means it would have been roaring over there, showing his teeth and claws, and its sound might have been terrorizing the villagers. The village which is on the outskirts of the jungle. But now in zoo his activity has become neutral. Snarling, it refers to the sound of tiger. Coming to next paragraph. But he is locked in a concrete cell, his strength behind bars, stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitor. Now this paragraph again shifts to the zoo. Here concrete cell refers to zoo. It refers to the cage. But is contradictory. It's contradicting the last two paragraphs. In the last two paragraphs, the poet has said that he is supposed to do all those activities in its natural habitat, but here in the zoo, its activity has become limited. Why? Because it has been caged. So here it says in this paragraph, again this paragraph shifts to a tiger in the zoo. He says that but here it is locked. It is locked in a concrete cell. Concrete cell refers to the cage in which it is caged, in which it is locked. His strength behind bars. His strength, the strength of the tiger has been overpowered by the strength of concrete cell. The concrete cells, the man-made artificial environment, that cage has overpowered the strength of the tiger, and due to which it has become actionless. It can't show its strength. It is behind the bar, it is limited, its activity has become limited, its strength even has been reduced to zero. It can't show its strength. Stalking the length of cage, again same activity. Again he is left with only one activity, that is stalking the length of his cage. In the last two paragraphs, you can see that in the last two paragraphs, in each paragraph, different activities was shown. Different activities performed by tiger in its natural habitat is being described. But in the first paragraph and in this paragraph, only one activity is being mentioned, and that is stalking the length of the cage. It means its activity has become limited, its power has become limited. It is left with only one thing, that is stalking the length of the cage. It means walking inside the cage, and that too in the cage which have very limited space. Ignoring visitors, and one more activity here it is left with, and that is ignoring visitors. Ignoring visitors, it means here its power has been reduced to a joker. His all natural activity has been restricted, the space has been restricted. Now he is no more a tiger. It has been reduced to a joker. It can't do anything. Just the visitors come, they enjoy the sight of tiger, but at the same time the tiger is weeping from the core of the heart and ignoring the visitors. Let's move to next paragraph. It is, he hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. So again here he in this paragraph he refers to tiger. Here's the last voice at night, the patrolling cars. In night he hears the last voice, and that is the voice of the patrolling cars, the employee of the zoo who used to perform patrolling duties, or sometimes they come to give food to the tiger, to other animals. This is the last sound, that is the sound of the patrolling cars he hears last at night. And stares with brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. So brilliant eyes and brilliant stars, both for eyes as well as for stars. Brilliant adjective has been used, white has been used, because as a star shines in night, similarly the eyes of the tiger used to shine at night, and therefore the same adjective has been used before these two words, that is stars and night. So now in this paragraph, in the last two lines, it says that another activity which has been mentioned here in this paragraph for a tiger in the zoo, that is keeps staring at the star. The first activity which was given in the first paragraph, that is stalking the length of the zoo. Second activity which was given, that is ignoring visitors, and third activity, that is staring the brilliant stars. So this three activity, you can see this three activity is motionless, actionless. A tiger is known for full of action, but here in these activities you can see that its action has reduced to zero. While the tiger which was there in the jungle, it was full of action. It was hiding itself beside the pond and waiting for its predator to come and to attack. In the one of the paragraph for the tiger in the forest, it was roaring and terrorizing the villagers in the village which is there on the outskirt of the forest. So in this way, in this poem, the poet has compared the wildlife in its natural habitat and the wildlife in its artificial environment, and by doing so he has shown the cruelty of human being, how we have restricted the freedom of animals, freedom which is gifted by God, and it is being gifted to each and every organism on this earth. But we human beings, for our own benefit, for satisfying our need, we have restricted them to zero. We have made them nothing, just a dummy. This is the meaning of the poem. Now let's move to the literary devices. This is the first paragraph. In first paragraph, he stands for personification. He is personified here. He stands for tiger, and he generally we know that it is used for human being, for male, but here it has been used for tiger. So it is personification. Here tiger has been personified with the help of this word he. It's personification. The another thing is the rhyming scheme of the poem is ABCB. ABCB. The poem follows the rhyming scheme of ABCB. Now again in the first line you can see S is being repeated. S sound is prominent. S sound is prominent over here. So it again forms a figure of speech. It forms another literary device that is known as consonants. It is consonants. The spelling you can see over here in the yellow box. It is consonants. Whenever a consonant sound is repeated, then it is regarded as consonant. So consonant, there is little bit confusion between consonants and alliteration. Alliteration comes only at the starting of the word. It is also repetition of consonant sound, but only at the starting of the word. But here you can see that the consonant sound is here in the mid as well as at the end, as well as in the starting. So this is the difference between consonants and alliteration. Alliteration comes only in the starting of the word. The consonant sound only comes in the starting of the word, that is alliteration. The another figure of speech which is used over here, that is assonance. Here you can see in first line only. In first line you can see I sound is prominent. In the word in, his, in the word in, I is prominent. In the word again his, I is prominent. In the word again vivid, I is there. Stripes, I is there. So again it is the repetition of vowel. It is the repetition of vowel. Again it forms another figure of speech, and that is known as assonance. It is known as assonance. Then comes the last line, that is in the last line of the poem, sorry, there is some technical issue. In the last line of the first paragraph, in the last line of first paragraph, you can say quiet and rage. Quiet and rage, these two terms are these two opposing terms. The two terms having opposite meaning are used simultaneously. Already while giving you the explanation, I explained you the meaning. Quiet means silent and rage means full of anger. So these two terms which have quite opposing meaning, though both the terms are quite contradictory to each other, has been used simultaneously, that is together it has been used. So again it forms another figure of speech, that is oxymoron. You can see the spelling over here, it is oxymoron. Now coming to second paragraph, again in the starting of the first line, he is used. He is used. So he again is for personifying the tiger. So it is personification again. Now in the second and third line, you can see second and third line shifts to another line without any punctuation mark. It again forms another figure of speech, and that is known as enjambment. This figure of speech is known as enjambment. It is used to show the continuity. It is used to show the continuity. One more figure of speech, one more in the last line, you can see P sound is repeated. It forms alliteration. P sounds in plump and pass. P is repeated again it forms alliteration. This time it is not consonants, it is alliteration because P sound comes in the starting of these two words. Moving to next paragraph, again you can see in the starting of this paragraph we have he. He is here used to personify the tiger. Therefore it is personification. Now once word there, here we have another figure of speech, that is snarling. Snarling refers to the sound of tiger. So the word which used to refer the sounds, that is known as onomatopoeia. Here you can see in the pink dialog box, it's onomatopoeia. The figure of speech, the literary device which is used to refer to any sounds, that is known as onomatopoeia. Again in the third line you can see S sound is prominent. In the third line you can see S sound is prominent. His S is there, fangs S is there, claws S is there, fangs S is there, claws S is there. So S sound is prominent over here. Again it forms consonants. One more literary device is here. In third line only you can see I sound is prominent in his, white, his. I sound is there also. I in his, white, again I is there, and again in his I is there. So we can see that it is repetition of vowel. So whenever the vowel is repeated in mid of the word, not in the starting or at the end, in the mid of the word, then it is referred to be assonance. Now moving to next paragraph, again in the first line you can see his is used. His locked. He again refers here to tiger, it is again personification. Again his is used for tiger, again it is personification. And behind bars you can see P sound is prominent. B and B. Behind and bars. B sound is prominent over here. Again it forms alliteration. Again in the last line I sound is prominent. Ignoring, I is used twice in ignoring, and again in visitors I is used twice. So again it forms a figure of speech, that is assonance. In the last paragraph, again in the starting he is used. He again is used for tiger. He stands for tiger, therefore it is personification. And you can see that he hears. H sound is prominent in these two words, that is he and he hears. H sound is prominent, therefore again it is alliteration. Now again in the second last line you can see there is no punctuation mark. Second last line shifts to next line without any punctuation mark, and therefore this is enjambment. This is all about literary device used in this poem. Now once again I would like to summarize the poem. The poet in this poem has compared a tiger. A tiger stands for all wildlife, all animals, and Jew refers to the artificial environment. So he has compared tiger in its natural environment, that is in the forest, and a tiger in Jew, that is in the artificial environment. So the poet has conveyed the meaning. The main theme of the poem is that what we are doing, we are carrying out deforestation at a large scale, and due to which animals are being shifted to artificial environment, and due to which their freedom is restricted, their activities are restricted, they are nothing, they have become just a dummy. So we should stop doing this. We should stop deforestation. Instead of carrying out deforestation, we should focus on afforestation, which may save the life of animals, which is also a part of our earth, of our ecosystem, and if it comes to extinct, it may harm our ecosystem. This is all about this poem. Thank you.